Um, this workshop was amazing. It really was. You've taken I've never thought of myself as a material girl. You made me a materials girl. I think just having the lead in the questions, how to make these connections with my students is going to get them excited about science. And so to narrow it down to one thing I know I'm going to use for sure is probably the glass as an insulator and a conductor in the whole process. Thank you.
So last year was the first year I've taught 6th grade science, even though I've been teaching since I was 21, and I was fairly intimidated to come and be amongst all high school teachers, and I never took chemistry, ever. And so I learned a lot of great background material that helps me, and I loved how Andy and Lonnie modeled for me, I guess, great teaching strategies like from the Gee Whiz labs, but that's all great, but my kids also want to know the why and how of everything, and so that's what I really can take back. And thank you.
Like everybody said, this camp's been great. Learned a lot. 2 things I know I'll use right away there will be the rusty steel spheres and aluminum foil. Hitting those, I know the kids really get a kick out of that. And also like using the electricity to brass the pennies. I think that's a lot safer way than heating up a solution like we all used to do prior to this year. I really like I like the explanation of the oxidation reduction, how that relates to corrosion. And I do appreciate a few more years of corny jokes. Thank you. We'll use those, and that's about it. Go Diggers.
So it's a materials camp, and we're surrounded by materials all the time, and our students walk down the street and they might think I'm walking on some rocks or some concrete, or they might look at a bridge they're driving over and they're like, oh, that's a metal of some sort, but they don't appreciate where it comes from, and I didn't appreciate where a lot of it comes from. And through a lot of the tours, you gain appreciation for processes involved with mining and extracting the metals and producing the materials that are there. And the camp gives us great opportunity to show the students not just how the materials are made, but where they come from and the type of schooling that needs to go into developing all these new types of materials. And the demos are great because the kids get the materials when they're done, and they take them home with them, and they realize that it's not just this chemical from Flynn and this chemical from Flynn, put it together and you get something out of it. You know, they go from the beginning to the end, and I'll have a better understanding and a better way of teaching them about these materials.
Well, it was a great experience, and I think this year I'll be teaching a lot of 9th grade classes, and I think the first day, because I'll have them all and they'll be talking, I'm just going to take one of all of those different things that we did and give each class a different one so that the whole school will be talking about it. And which of course just makes kids, for the next 4 years I get them in my face about what they remember, and I can just keep reminding them, you know, well, move on to higher education. So what I really also super enjoyed about this workshop was just the different levels. I loved having so many different kinds of teachers and people being willing to say what they did in their classroom or how they improved something or how it relates to shop or the middle school, and to have, you know, a whiz-bang and a AP chemist. I just think we just had the best of everything here. It was really the best.
I guess what I learned this week is, especially when it came to the metals, I understood when you heated metals, I could show the kids what happened to them, and they bent, they hardened, things like this. But when it came to talking about what chemically was going on in there, that's when I kind of lacked a little bit. And I feel a lot more confident about it, telling them that. Got a lot of new demos to show them what's happening and things like that. So I think that'll be really good. I guess for highlight, I really enjoyed the field trips, to actually see the industrial processes.
I think the best thing that I'm taking away from this camp is my renewed excitement. And I'm going to hopefully pass that on to my students. And listening to all of the conversations that all of you have contributed to makes me feel challenged, I guess, to do a better job with my teaching. And so that's a really good thing. And I really look forward to working with glass and kind of coordinating my efforts with the shop teacher and the art teacher.
as a technology education and engineering teacher, this has been a great camp for me to brush up on the chemistry side of things. All of the labs that we did are things that I really can use in my classes when I'm talking about how kids use materials and how they do things, how they go through the processes, designing, and then what's going on chemically underneath. It was also a great refresher for me personally just to get back into the chemistry world after not having chemistry in quite a while. I definitely liked, like Dave said, I definitely liked the industry tours to see the processes in action so that we all understand kind of what's going on in the background. The complexity in just creating a silicon wafer is super high, and I don't know that many of us probably appreciated it until we actually saw the beginning of that process, and it was quite amazing.
My favorite activity was ruining steel wool. I can't wait to get home and demonstrate the effect of salt, hydrogen peroxide, and water on friendly neighborhood steel wool. Thanks for having camp.